Author James Patterson is a household name to many, having written more than 200 books and selling over 450 million copies worldwide. His characters are well known too, like the homicide detective and forensic psychologist Alex Cross. Patterson has earned the title of the world's best-selling author, but there's one role he cherishes far more: Dad. As Father's Day approaches, he's turning the page from thrillers to something more personal. In his latest release, the #1 Dad book, he offers a heartfelt reflection on fatherhood and what it truly means to him. I recently sat down with James Patterson to talk about the journey from growing up with a distant, reserved father to becoming the proud, hands-on dad to his son, Jack. James Patterson, welcome back to the NewsHour.
Thank you.
You have said that this book may be your most important book, the most important book you've ever written by far.
Oh,
Why
it
is
is.
that?
It is. Let me start here. My only memory of hugging my father was on his deathbed. And he apologized to me, and he cried, which he never did. And I told him that he was a great dad. But the way a lot of fathers were in that period, hugging was not a thing. And somewhere along the way, I was at a friend's house. He's a teacher, and his wife were a teacher. We're having dinner, and there are two boys, both football players, high school football players. And after dinner, they're walking out the door, and my friend said, "Come back, come back, come back." And they had to give him a hug. And that hugging thing became a model for me. And our son, Jack, every time we see him, it's hugs. And growing up, it was hugs, hugs, hugs. What this is about, and the title is How to Be the Best Dad You Can Be in 1 Hour. And the reason for that is that for a lot of guys, they won't not read the 400-page book. They just won't. So this is very practical about it. And how many things can you do? 1 hour, you'll be a better tennis player. This is where this thing gets serious and why it's important. Mm-hmm. There are so many guys out there that are lost and overwhelmed, and they're no longer the breadwinners or whatever the heck it is. And this will help them. It will help them. Anybody who reads this thing, you will become a better dad. Not a perfect dad, just better.
How did your own experience with your father influence the kind of dad that you wanted to be?
Well, it certainly made me more conscious of things like being able to say "I love you," which I never heard my father say that to any of us or to my mother. Things like, and that's what the book is about. It's just all these things like, listening, huge, dads who listen, being able to say "I was wrong," just in case it ever happens. Changing diapers. Dirty diapers, embrace the poop. It depends, and the book deals with being a father at different stages. Sometimes, in terms of just being a new father, sometimes in being a stepfather, grandfathers. There's a chapter on grandfathers and how grandparents in general, how important that is. But it tries, and part of it is, look, if this little thing on hugging doesn't work for you, go to the next page. The point is that at the end of this hour, you will have picked up a couple of things that are going to make you a better dad. And when you look back on life, chances are you're going to realize, maybe too late, that the most important thing you ever did was raising your kids.
Well, how did you do that? How did you balance being one of the world's most prolific writers?
And talented.
Talented and prolific.
Yeah.
How did you balance that with being present for your family?
Well, that's an interesting thing. Present is, and I think it's an important word. People always go, "Well, what's the most important thing here?" I was around all the time because I write at home, and Jack was there, et cetera, et cetera. But I wasn't always present when I was present, if you know what I mean. Especially when they're 6, 7, 7, you're not necessarily into their whatever they're talking about, but to be present, to listen to them, to whatever they're doing, to have them listen to you, to really be present, I think is really a key thing and really, really useful.
You collaborated with your son on a book some years ago.
Yeah.
How did that strengthen your bond or test it?
No. I have never had a collaboration that hasn't been good. All of them, and people always go, "Oh, wasn't it hard?" No. I've collaborated with President Clinton now 3 times. Mm-hmm. It's been a pleasure. He's a good friend of mine. Dolly Parton is a really good friend. I just finished one with Viola Davis. Great. It's a novel, and I think a really, really good novel. I'm going to collaborate with Mr. Beast.
I read about that.
Yeah. So that's and that's kind of cool and interesting. And he's an interesting person. And the thing with Mr. Beast is, We both love to tell stories. He loves it to make the videos. I love writing books like, Number One Dad or Alice Cross. He loves to, and we both like to give stuff away.
Yeah.
He gives away a lot of stuff. I give away a lot of stuff.
In the book, you encourage men to seek out male friends who talk about fatherhood rather than just
or women
sports
friends,
or whatever.
honestly. But
Yeah. Why is that important?
Because they don't do it. All of this stuff, why is it important? It comes down to a lot of this is blocking and tackling. Yes, but you're not blocking, you're not tackling. That's why it's important. And this is, and what this book is, for 1 hour, just let's talk about stuff. And I try to make it humorous. And I say, I don't have all the answers. I just have a lot of thoughts for you to think about. Because guys, when they go out, for whatever reason, because they're guys, they'll talk about sports, they'll talk about cars, they'll talk about work. They won't talk much about their kids or their partners.
There are several audiences for a book like this. New fathers, obviously. What's a veteran dad get when he picks up this book?
Same thing. I mean, you're good. There's a lot of stuff here in terms of listening, talking to your kids, telling your kids, your older kids, your story, your values. What do you stand for? Tell them. Don't be afraid to tell them and listen to them. It's a key thing, and staying in touch.
James Patterson, the book is The Number One Dad Book. Be the best dad you can be in 1 hour. Thanks so much for being here.
And it is the most important book I've ever done.
Absolutely.
Alice Cross is cool, but this is important. It's useful.
Terrific.